section 3.2, we're going to start talking about the slope of the line, and we started to see this change in y, that's our rise, and your change in your run, that's your change in x's is your run. So we're measuring the vertical change over the horizontal change. The slope between 2 points is second y minus first y, second x coordinate minus first x coordinate, and it doesn't matter which order you put these points in. If it's me, I always like to have my bigger x and bigger y as the second point. I like to go big minus small and have these be the smaller values in the first point. The slope of a horizontal line is always 0, so when there's no x in the equation, you know the slope, you won't cross the x-axis, therefore you're going to be parallel to the x-axis, and the way you can remember that 0 is the slope is that horizontal is spelt with a 0. The slope of a vertical line, okay, that's straight up and down parallel to the y-axis, no y in the equation, is undefined. We're not going to the left or right anywhere in our run, so it's over 0. And the way you can remember that is here's u and v. It's in alphabetical order. Think of the sun giving us UV rays going straight up and down. How to graph a line and point from a point and a slope. Your point is going to be your starting point, and the slope will be your directions. Plot all the points that you can fill up the graph, connect them together. So in your slope-intercept form, your starting point is always at 0b. Use the slope as your directions. So if you wanted to plot points in slope-intercept form, you can. That's what you would use. If you're given it in standard form, you want to find just the x-intercepts. So positive slopes go uphill, negative slopes go downhill. Here's horizontal, slope of 0, undefined slope for vertical lines. So again, x equals 2, no y, vertical line. Has to be parallel to the y-axis since the y variable is missing. Y equals -1, the x is missing, it has to run parallel to the x-axis, so it's a horizontal line. X and y on the same side, you want to find the intercepts. X-intercept, y-intercept. Y equals -x plus 4, that's slope-intercept, y-intercept 4. -1 is your slope, -1 over 1. Alright, parallel lines. Parallel lines have the same slope. Alright, and different y-intercepts. So right above y, different y-intercepts. Put down B1 cannot be equal to B2. Your slopes are going to be equal. That's what M1 and M2 are. But again, your y-intercepts have to be different. Perpendicular lines, they form right angles. The first slope and the second slope of your two lines are perpendicular when you can look at it either two ways. When your slopes are negative or opposite reciprocals. I like the word opposite, so if you want to put opposite here. So I take whatever I have here, I flip the first fraction and make it negative. That's what this slope is going to be for the second slope. Or if you multiply the two slopes together, it has to equal a -1. Vertical line and horizontal lines are always perpendicular to each other. Think of the x-axis and the y-axis. All right, let's find the slope. First point, second point. Second y, which will be -3, minus first y, 6. Second x minus first x, -5. Now here, it doesn't matter which order you put them in. If you wanted to make this the second point and this is the first point, that's fine. But since they're going to give them to me already 1, then 2, that's the way I'll treat them here. Now here, a minus and negative, it's going to be plus plus, so I'm left with -9 over 10. First point, -6, -10. Second point, -2, -4. -4 minus 10 minus a negative minus the -10, and then -2 minus the -6. You will see a lot of slope formulas with double signs. We'll just change them to plus plus and find the slope, 6 over 4, which reduces to 3 over 2. For 3a, we have -1 minus a -3. And then we have 4 minus 4, that's a 0. So that's an undefined slope. Can't have 0 in the denominator. So when your x coordinates are the same between your 2 points, it's automatically undefined. And in part B, now notice that the y coordinates are the same. -2 minus a -2, that will become 0. And as long as your x's aren't the same, this won't be a 0, so your slope is 0. If we look at equations, trying to find the slope of the equation of lines that have already been graphed, here you have a horizontal line. The slope of that is 0. Here you have a vertical line. The slope of that is undefined. Now, this is a trick question because a lot of people will do this. They're going to find points like this point here, and there's another point there, and they look for where the line touches the corner of the squares. And now, a lot of people will count squares down 1, 2, 3, 4, and to the right 1, 2, 3. And if you double check, down 4, right 3, yep, down 4, right 3, down 4, right 3. The slope is not -4/3 because notice that the x-axis is counting by 10, 20, they're counting by tens, while the y-axis are counting by hundreds. So you can't count squares. So you basically have to find 2 points, say the y-intercept at 0, -500, and this point's at 30 and -900, and now we put it into the slope formula. -900 minus -500, 30 minus 0 plus plus. We get -400/30. We can divide out a 10 to get -40/3. Okay, number 10. Graph the line through the point -5, 4, having the slope m equals 2/3. So we plot -5 and then the 4, and we go up 2, right 3. Plot a point. And I can't go up 2 and right 3. I can't go down 2, left 3, so there's my line. Start at -4 up to 5. And now we have a slope of 3/1, so up, can't go up 3, so reverse it. So make that 3 a -3/1. We'll go down 3, left 1. Plot a point, down 3, left 1, down 3, left 1. Fill the graph with as many points as you can. So looking at this bottom point, I'm going up 3, right 1. That's positive. It's a positive slope because it's going uphill. 12, if you had to graph 4, -4, okay, that's this point right here, and my slope is 0, I just draw in a horizontal line. Here it's an undefined slope, which is vertical, so I'll plot the point 5, -3, and then draw a vertical line through that point. 14, a company discovers that to produce X equals 640 new electronic parts, it will cost $39,480. To produce 610 new electronic parts, it will cost $37,920. These are 2 points. So we'll list them as follows. Here's the X, this is the X coordinate, that's the Y coordinate. X coordinate, Y coordinate. Compute the slope of the cost, find the slope. 39,480 minus 37,920, 640 minus 610. So here I chose the X and the Y with the bigger values. We're going to be my second point. This will be my first point. So that comes out to be 1,560/30. I reduce that to 52 when I divide it. Now, what is the most accurate form of the slope? Well, it's got to be the one with 52 in it. So it's either this one or this one. So since it's positive, my slope has to be increasing, not decreasing. So that's the correct answer. 15, given the slope and y-intercept form of the line, what's the slope? The slope is 5, or 5/1 if you wish. And my y-intercept is 0, -7. So here, let's graph these equations. They're in this format, so find your starting point. -2 on the y-axis, plot the point. And now we're going to go down 5 and to the right 3. Plot a point, then reverse it. We'll go up 5 and to the left 3 and plot a point. And 1, 2, 3, 4, I can't go up another 5, so I'll just draw in my line. Here we have a y-intercept of 4, and now it's going to be up 1, right 4. Plot a point, and then down 1 and left 4. and I can't go left 4 again, so there's my line. Okay, 18. Now 18 is kind of interesting here. We got 2x minus 25 equals, or excuse me, 2x minus 5y equals 25. This is in standard form. So if they want us to convert it to y equals mx plus b form, you're going to have to subtract over the 2x and divide everybody by a negative 5. And now that's my new equation. Negative 2 divided by negative 5 makes it a positive 2 fifths. 25 divided by negative 5 minus 5. So my y-intercepts at negative 5 will go up 2, right 5, plot a point, down 2, left 5, plot a point. All right. However, since this is in standard form, ax plus by equals c, if you change this equation the same way we did up here, subtract over the ax and divide by everything by b, your slope is negative a over b. So a negative 2 over b, which is you include the sign, minus 5, there's my 2 fifths. Now the reason I say that is because since I'm in standard form, the x-intercept would be ugly, but the y-intercept would be easy. 25 divided by negative 5, that's what I did right there. I could go to my negative 5 and then do my negative a over b, and I have my slope up to right 5. I wouldn't have to do this part right here. 19, y-intercept, okay, we got standard form. I'm not going to convert this into y equals mx plus b. I'm going to work smarter, not harder. I'm going to find the y-intercept, cover up the 2x, y equals negative 2, so that's 0, negative 2. Plot that point. I'm going to cover up the y term, 2x equals negative 8, x equals negative 4. There's my x-intercept. So my slope would be negative 2 over 4, which reduces to negative 1/2, so I can go from any point down 1, right 2. Down 1, right 2, down 1, right 2, down 1, right 2, or up 1, left 2. Draw my line. So if you notice that the coefficient in front of the x and in front of the y can divide into the constant, you don't have to convert it to y equals mx plus b. All right, Ken is a door-to-door vacuum salesman. His weekly salary S is given by the linear equation 350 plus 125V, where V is the number of vacuum cleaners sold. Identify the slope. Write a sentence to explain the meaning. Well, 350 is your starting salary. For every vacuum cleaner you sell, that's going to be your slope. So M is 125, so an additional $125 per vacuum sold is your slope. What is my vertical intercept? That's the 350. Ken initially gets paid $350, that's its meaning. Find the salary when he sells 32 vacuum cleaners, so we put the 32 in for B. Crunch the numbers, 125 times 32 is 4,000, add 350 to it, there's his salary. Part D is how many vacuum cleaners were sold if he had $6,850. All right, then write your answer as an ordered pair. Okay. Let's see. I think I forgot to say the ordered pair up here. That was 32, 40, 350. So now S is going to be the 6850 equals 350 plus 125 times V. Subtract over the 350, divide by 125, you get 52. So 52, comma 6,850 is the ordered pair. So what is my sentence? All right, so if he sells 52 vacuum cleaners, he earns $6,850. 21, Terry is skiing down a steep hill. Terry's evaluation E in feet after t seconds is given by E equals 3,400 minus 50t. Fill in the blanks to complete the following sentence. The equation tells us that Terry started at 3,400 feet and his elevation is decreasing, because it's going downhill, by 50 feet per second, or each second. 22, the function C equals 51,200 minus 3,200 cubed represents the balance of your college payment account after Q quarters. Interpret the slope of the situation. The balance of the account is decreasing, because it's a minus, $3,200 per quarter. The intercept is 51,200. So after 0 quarters, your balance is 51,200. How many quarters will this account pay for? Okay, you can pay, well, take your equation, and we're going to go ahead and divide 3,200, where's that right there, into this. So we're going to find out how many quarters. That's 16. So you can afford 16 quarters before your account is empty. 23, you are given that line L has a slope of 2. A, the slope of the line that's parallel to L is the same thing, 2. The slope of the perpendicular to L would be 2 over 1 is my L. I have to flip it to 1/2 and change the sign to a negative 1/2. 24, line 1 goes through these 2 points, so we do the slope. Negative 40 minus negative 76, second y minus first y, 7 minus 13, okay, plus plus, that's going to give me 36 over negative 6, that's negative 6. Line 2 goes through these 2 points, okay, second y 44 minus the 28, negative 28, negative 6 minus 6, plus plus, we get 72 over negative 12, that's negative 6. So line 1 and line 2, are they parallel, perpendicular, or neither? Well, since the slopes are the same, they are parallel. And that ends up 3-2.